one of our main computers being down and the guy taking forever to fix it. So bear with us, man. However, as y'all know, the show must go on. So either way, we're going to make sure we get this content. It's come out that they're pushing his trial date back yet again. Now, before we even get into it, y'all, as I always say, it's something about these rappers where I don't know what's going on, but it seems like they have different laws that apply to them. Whereas if it was me and you, it'll be a whole different story. We're seeing these guys get locked up with all type of firearms with switches attached. We're seeing prior convicted felons getting locked up for multiple firearms and coming home. We're seeing these guys get plea deals for RICO and only getting probation, sealed paperwork, just the whole 9 yards. Now, for y'all that don't know what's going on, let me fill you in real quick. Lil Durk, along with his other co-defendants who happen to be OTF members, have been arrested and charged for the 2022 shooting death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab. Quando and Lil Pab, along with others, were at a gas station in LA when suspects would pull up in a white car, get out, and begin shooting. Now, Lil Pab was the only one that got hit, and when he was taken to a nearby hospital, he would later pass away due to his injuries. At first, there was no suspects identified by police, but that's until October of 2024, where 5 men were associated with Lil Durk and his OTF label and were arrested in what police labeled a RICO indictment. Kavon London Grant, aka Vonnie, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, aka OTF Didi, Keith Jones, aka Flocka, David Bryan Lindsay, aka Brown Eyes, and Asa Houston, aka Boogie. Now, all 5 of them were arrested and indicted on charges stemming from M and attempted M involving the unaliving of Lil Pab. According to law enforcement, they believe the shooting death of Lil Pab was retaliation for deceased rapper King Von, who was shot and unalived by Quando Rondo affiliate Lil Tim in November of 2020. Now, police believe that this was a motive behind the shooting, and shortly after the 5 suspects were arrested, Lil Durk was also arrested just days after. Now, Durk was arrested near Miami International Airport late Thursday.
That boy Durk said he was trying to get up out of there. But no, it could be only like maybe a couple of reasons why they keep pushing this trial back. First of all, they giving him the YNW Melly treatment. You feel me? Keep pushing his trial back. But that means somebody that taking a plea deal, they taking it, gonna just say forget it, fight it, not fight it, and take their charges. That's probably what's really going on. Now, as far as Durk, what I've been hearing that he been trying to fight it. He tired of getting pushed back. He was trying to have it set for, I think, October the 14th. Now they done pushed it back to who knows when. But that really was probably going on. Somebody is trying to take their charges, say, forget it, you know what, ain't no point in me fighting it. You know, they supposedly got evidence of what happened, you know, from the flights, credit cards, and paying for everything and all that. So, niggas is probably like, you know what, ain't no point in me fighting this. I'm going to go ahead and take these charges. So, we don't know though, but that's what I'm speculating.
Complaint charging him with conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit M for hire, resulting in unaliving. Durk's name was connected to many flights where law enforcement believes he was trying to confuse them because he knew that they was coming, so he tried to flee to a country to avoid arrest, allegedly. Now, he would be arrested and charged with orchestrating the shooting that led to the unaliving of Lil Pab, and law enforcement also believes OTF acts as a group of individuals who engaged in violence, included M in assault at Durk's direction, and to maintain their status in OTF as a whole. Now, Durk was scheduled to have his trial originally start in the beginning of this year on January 7th, 2025. However, for some reason, the prosecution and defense will both agree that the case was so complex and unusual that they needed more time to prepare. So as a result, the trial was pushed back to October of 2025, which should have been more than enough time to prepare because now it's going on a year since he will be arrested and haven't been sentenced despite trial already being pushed back once. Now, in the process of waiting for trial, he was in 3 bond hearings all within 6 months, and unfortunately, he was denied bond every time despite putting up more and more money every time he appeared. Now, how was he able to get these many bond hearings in such short period of time? I have no idea, especially when nothing changed. But he was not granted a bond and will remain behind bars until his trial, which was supposed to be next month. But it seems like yet another wrench has been thrown in this case. We will learn recently that Durk's trial has been pushed back or may be pushed back yet again. Now, despite Durk being the one who was trying to do any and everything in his power to get a bond, they're saying that this time it's not him behind the delay. According to reports, Durk's co-defendants are the ones pushing to postpone trial.
I told you, that's because they probably try to take pleas or something. Somebody either telling or they taking the deal. Like I'm telling you, that's what it is. It ain't no other reason for them to be keep pushing the trial dates back. Like I said, Durk been trying to get this shit filed. He been trying to go to court and say, you know what, just go ahead and do what I gotta do. So this is code E.
He said that a joint motion was filed on Friday, September 12, 2025, where federal prosecutors and attorneys for several of Durk's co-defendants agreed upon it. Once again, their excuse is that the case is so unusual and so complex, and the defense team needs additional time to prepare. However, according to reports,
they ain't got enough evidence.
Very clear that Lil Durk and his attorneys don't wish to postpone it. They'll like to get it over with, because if the trial date is in fact pushed back to January of 2026, like they're trying to delay it to, that only means more time for Durk to be sitting in jail. Unless he gets another bond hearing, in which I doubt, but these days, we already seen him get 3 back-to-back, so I wouldn't be surprised at anything at this point. Now, when it comes to the delay, I don't know how they'll manage to get it, because they're using the same excuse that they did the last time. And from January to October is a total of 9 months. So I don't know how much more time they would need, because if the motion is granted, that means they would have had a total of 1 year exactly since their last trial date. Now, this is interesting for many reasons, because they could tell us one thing and really be gearing up for something else. Now, they said it's Durk's co-defendants who wants to push everything back. However, they didn't specify who. And honestly, for all we know, they can be doing this because they got new evidence, or maybe someone is cooperating and they need more time to gather everything that they are off. I tell y'all all the time, when it comes to the feds, they play tricky, and you never know what they have up their sleeve until it's time for trial. But at that point, it's no turning back. That was also interesting, because I thought that they were all being broken up and they all had different lawyers to represent them differently. So why would Durk's co-defendants needing more time have anything to do with him if they have different representation? And if I'm not mistaken, if his lawyer don't agree with the delay, shouldn't he push for a speedy trial? Because technically, if it was already pushed back for the same thing, why would he wait for the defense to get ready and gather whatever evidence that they may or may not have? I don't know. I could be wrong, y'all, because I'm not too familiar with how the feds operate, but I do find it weird how his co-defendants' attorneys made a joint agreement to file that motion, and he's affected by it when he has nothing to do with them. Or does he?
Because I'm trying to tell you, niggas, it's legit what they're doing, bro. It's legit. The feds either trying to build more evidence, somebody's either cooperating, or his co-Ds are trying to take pleas on the deal, try to get deals. It's no other explanation for it. And it's just like they're like, because it's like, if they supposedly have this evidence that they did, they said they have when they first came out with this, that they had phone calls, Durk telling them not to, use his name under, for booking flights, hotels, and all that. Then like, what else they waiting for? Like, so you like said, if you never know with the feds, bro, they playing a whole nother ball game. But for sure, it's one of the three. Somebody, the feds is looking for more evidence, cooperating, or trying to get a plea deal.
Anyway, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about his trial date being delayed once again? And what do you think it means? I remember they did say that they may have somebody cooperating possibly within this case. And they are saying that the reason why it was pushed back is because of all the 230 gigabytes that they have.
Right.
Evidence and a whole bunch of other things. But once again, if they do push it back to January 2026, that only means that they will have a year from the original court date to where they were supposed to start trial. So how much time do you really need? And it's very rare you have attorneys actually waiting on a defense to get their stuff together, because at the end of the day, they're trying to rush the trial. So whatever evidence they may have against them, they could probably mess up or not be able to present it, or not have enough. So it could be a mistrial or something along those lines. But it's very rare where you have the attorneys coming together with the defense team to actually agree on more time. Unless it works in the attorney's favor for whatever reason. Who knows, man? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, like I said, it could be a few things. They could probably be trying to pin Durk to other bodies, allegedly. Maybe they have a snitch that they're waiting for. Maybe they could be working out a deal with Durk low key, but he's making it seem like it's his co-defendants. Who knows? I'm not saying that's what it is, but it could be a bunch of things, man. I guess we're just...
You feel me? Like, bro, you don't know, bro. like I said, that's my theory. You feel me? We don't know, but that's why I'm speculating that it is. Like I said, bro, like why? Like I said, if it was supposed to start January 2025, they kept pushing it back. They gave him 3 bond hearings, kept denying it. Like I said, I felt like they was trying to extort him. You feel me? And they said it for October. Now they pushing it back. So like, who knows, man? Like you know, everybody say, you know, Durk getting out, they ain't got evidence. Who knows, bro? It really, you'll never know. Like I said, we just got to sit and wait and find out what's going on, because it don't make sense. But y'all can comment, let me know y'all thoughts on that video, man. Let me know what y'all think it is, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. We out.